Hi guys, hello. Hi, I hope you can hear me. I hope you can see me. Hello. So we are here today to talk about speaking task 4. Okay, so and speaking task 4. Yay, speaking task 4 is something really nice. Okay, let me try to find out what's wrong with the mic, and after that we will start, I guess. Okay, so okay, cool. So I guess you can hear me right now, and I hope that everything's fine. So as I said, hello once again. I hope you can hear me. If you can hear me, send me a like, I don't know, some kind of emoji, something like that. If you can see me, do the same. Please welcome. So today we're going to talk about speaking task 4, which basically you can get 10 points for, and it will take you a total of 5.5 minutes. So, yay! Let's start doing that. Okay, first and foremost, let me introduce myself, so to say. And my name is Daria. I am a teacher at Учёба.ру. I graduated from Sochi State University. I passed CAE, that is the Cambridge Advanced Exam, and I passed a TKT exam, which is a teacher knowledge test, and I passed a lot of modules on that. I also studied in the UK, and if you want to know some interesting fact about me, I can say that I'm a coffee addict, my love of life, and I am a keen nature photographer. So yeah, if you want to have some very interesting nature pictures like flowers, maybe some buildings, that's my cup of tea. Okay, cool guys. So as promised, we're going to talk about task 4 speaking. Okay, and what we are going to do right now is just let me tell you a bit about our school. So our school is called Учёба.ру. We have got 12,000 graduates. 12,000, can you imagine, guys? So these students passed ЕГЭ with us. They also passed ОГЭ with us, which are, as you know, our state exams. And we have got 4,200 of our graduates who got 80 plus points for their ЕГЭ and a 5 for their ОГЭ. As you know, we've got points for ЕГЭ and we've got like points of another kind, 2 to 5 for ОГЭ. And we also have some very amazing teachers. And I am a part of this team of teachers. So, yay! What else we also can offer you? We guarantee you entrance to the university, but there is a catch. If you prepare with us for 3 exams, if you do not miss any classes and do all your homework, that's like really important. If you follow these conditions, then your university entrance is guaranteed. We have got a mock exam every month. Like this month, for example, we had ОГЭ exam and ЕГЭ exam. So these are real exams. Everything is timed. Everything is checked by the experts, and everybody gets their own feedback on the tasks that you maybe didn't do properly, or maybe you had some issues with. So yeah, a mock exam every month, which helps us to track our progress, which helps us to understand where we are right now in our English language learning journey. And also we have got different level groups, so you can study at your own pace. We have got like strong level, we have got like a medium level, like a high level of the English, and like a medium level of the English language as well. So you have got absolutely personalized approach, and you can also study at your own pace. And one more very interesting thing that is not written right here, but we do have, is a speaking club? A speaking club is a place, is a space, like a safe space for you to practice your English, to meet your peers, to discuss maybe some very interesting topics. Like this week, for example, we discussed topic of being healthy, and we also discussed some wellness tips. We had a menu, like create a menu task and so on. So that's a really nice space where you can talk in English, where you can do a lot of stuff and yeah, just practice. So, and basically that's a whole like admin information that I wanted to tell you about our school, about myself, and a bit of introduction. And let's start with task 4 overview. What do we have here? Basically, task 4, someone says that it's the most difficult task of the whole speaking part of the exam. Others say that it is not that difficult, you just need to follow the plan. So I believe the truth is somewhere in the middle. But let's have a look on what we should do, what we shouldn't do, and so on in this task. So basically, we have got here the task. Here is the task. And the task says, imagine that you and your friend are doing a school project, hobbies. You have found some photos to illustrate it, but for technical reasons you cannot send them now. You need to leave a voice message to your friend explaining your choice of the photos and sharing some ideas about the project. So basically you have got to talk continuously on the topic of hobbies. Right here you will always have your topic. And the topic of this specific task is basically hobbies. What they added in comparison to 2023 exam, they added a very interesting and, in my personal opinion, a very logical phrase, which is, for some technical reasons, you cannot send them now. So you cannot send them now for some technical reasons. It means that you have got some technical issues and now you cannot send the photos, because in 2023, this phrase did not exist, so it was absent. And you just needed to leave a voice message. But like, what's the reason? What is the reason for leaving a voice message if you can just send the pictures? So in my personal opinion, FIPI did very well this year, and they added some logical explanation on the topic of like why we should do that, why we should leave a voice message, why we should spend 3 minutes of our life talking to our phones instead of just sending a picture. So yeah, we know now why. We have got some technical issues or some technical reasons, and that prevents you from sending them to your friend right now. So, and the next is 2.5 minutes that you can use to get ready. And the next you have got a plan. They kindly provide us with a plan. And the plan says, explain the choice of the illustrations for the project by briefly describing them and noting the differences. So basically, describe, note the differences, explain like why did you choose this or that picture. Next one is mention the advantages, 1 or 2, of the hobbies. The topic here will always be the same as right here. So it changes from task to task, but it's always going to be a topic of your task. Another one is mention the disadvantages, 1, 2 of the hobbies as well, right here. So hobbies, as you can see, topic is right here. Express your opinion on the subject of the project. Which of the hobbies presented in the pictures you'd prefer and why? And right now I'm going to underline you'd prefer and why. So basically you need to say which one you like better and say why. You need to speak for not more than 3 minutes, and it means that you will be timed. Yes, guys, you will be timed. It means that there will be a computer program that will have some kind of a line counting down so like from 3 minutes to 0. And you have to say 12 to 15 sentences, and you have to talk continuously. What does you have to talk continuously means? It means that you just cannot make any pauses. I mean, not any, of course you can, but any illogical pauses in terms of like you stopped in the middle of the sentence like, and you don't know what to say. So this one is not considered talking continuously. So yeah, that's that. And let us have a look at what we have. So basically the task, the plan, some time limits for us. Seems quite simple, but if you just follow this plan, you won't get the full points. You won't get 10 points if you just follow this plan. So let's have a look at what plan you should actually follow. Okay, I have got here some base info. So prep time 2.5 minutes, speaking time 3 minutes, 12 to 15 sentences, and 10 points maximum. The thing is, you should study the task and the photos first. And this is like a step 0. This is what you should spend your 2.5 minutes of prep time on. You should really study the task and the photos. You have to look at them like, oh, I can see 2 kids here. These kids are playing the piano. And I can see 2 girls here, they're doing some gardening. I can see maybe that's their father, I guess, that's their father. And maybe these girls are helping their father. So please note that you have to look at the pictures really, really attentively. You have to pay attention to details. So that's 0. That's step 0. That's what you should start with. And then when you already started talking, when your 2.5 minutes is already over, you have to start with an introduction. So that's your point 1 in terms of when you started speaking. Introduction. We're going to talk about each of these steps in details, but let me have a look at all of them first. So as I said, introduction. And if you have a look right here in the plan that they provided us, there is no introduction. So where is that? It means that they suppose that you should know that there should be some introduction, because you just don't leave any voice message to a friend with some random pictures and saying that you have some technical issues or some technical problems, but you have to make some kind of introduction to that. So that is that. The next one is number 2, a brief description and differences. So what you have to do, the name of this point of the plan speaks for itself. You need to briefly describe the pictures and note the differences in these pictures. Once you're done with that, you need to move on to advantages of the topic per picture. And I will go into details a bit later when we're discussing this step number 3. But right now I want you to pay attention. We don't talk about the advantages of the photos. We talk about the advantages of your topic, and your topic is right here, as you can see. So basically, not photos, but the topic. Step number 4 is disadvantages of the topic per picture. So basically the same, not advantages and disadvantages of the picture, but advantages and disadvantages of different aspects of the topic connected with this picture. Okay. Number 5, your opinion on the topic and explanation, like your opinion on the topic and why, and conclusion. Of course, we need some conclusion, but as you can probably see, there is no conclusion right here. That's like a little trick, but basically there is some logical explanation to it. you just started with the introduction. You talked about the differences and the similarities, and about the advantages and disadvantages. You said which one you like, which one you don't like. And then what? Like, do you just hang? Do you just stop recording your voice message? What do? You would definitely say something in the end, something like bye and so on. That's it. So see you, all the kind of stuff. So conclusion is really important as well. If you don't have introduction, or if you miss any of those topics, like points from the plan, you will first get less points in terms of your communication, and second, the organization of the text gets also less points. Okay, cool. So guys, let us have a look, a very, very detailed look. So study the task and the photos. That is step 0. And we are talking about like task 4 step by step. We had an overview of these all steps, and now we're going to talk about step 0. So this is where we all begin. We start with our prep time. We have got one more time, 2.5 minutes of prep time. And we need to make the most of it. We have to use it well. 2.5 minutes, it seems like a lot of things. Like a lot. And a lot of time. But the thing is, it's not that much of time that we are provided with. So basically, we need to study the task and the photos. We have at this point looked at these photos for the millionth of time, I think. So one more time, note some specific differences, note some specific similarities. Think why these pictures illustrate the topic of the project really nicely. Why do you think that these photos are really suitable in terms of this topic that we have? Okay, so this is your step 0. Because these points of our plan, they don't change, we don't have to like pay special attention to them, but still look them through. Please just look them through. Remember that you have to explain the choice of illustrations for the project, describe them, say the differences. That is your like first point of the plan, after the introduction, of course. The second one is you need to mention the advantages, also then disadvantages, and then express your opinion on the subject. One more time, we are not expressing the opinion of the photos. We don't say I like photo number 1 more, or I like photo number 2 more. No, that's not what we're doing. We are expressing our opinion on the subject of the project, right? Okay, guys. So this is our step 0. And let's move on to step number 1. So basically, as I said before, step number 1 is what you should start your answer with, and that is your introduction. First off, let's imagine you really might have these technical issues. You might not be able to send a picture to a friend, and maybe for some reason something happened. I don't know, Telegram stopped working, Contacte refused you have no internet access, but somehow you managed to leave a voice message to a friend. So what do you start with? I usually start with something like hi, but the thing is, you can say hi to a close friend, but the examiners don't know your friends, so we need to name your friend and greet them. Basically, it doesn't matter which name you choose here. It can be Ben, because we all write very nice emails to Ben's, like dear Ben, a comma. In this case, it could be something like hi Ben, or hello Steve, or I don't know, hi Natalie, or hi Daria, something like this. Another thing is that you need to say that you have found some photos for the project. For example, I have found 2 photos for our project on the topic of hobbies, or for our project hobbies. You need to mention your technical issues and say that you really can't send the photos to your friend. For example, I'm having some technical issues right now, so I'm leaving you a voice message and I'd like to describe the photos I found to you. So basically this kind of step number 3, it has a lot of information in it, and you just say that I'm having some technical issues, that is why I'm leaving you a voice message, and here are some pictures I have found. So yeah, all in all, your introduction should sound something like that. Hi Ben, I found 2 photos for our project hobbies. Unfortunately, I'm having some technical issues right now, so I'm leaving you a voice message instead, and I'd like to describe the photos I found to you. So something like that would be really perfect for introduction. Okay, and let us move on to number 2. We've got a brief description and differences. So the thing here is, you need to describe each photo briefly and say why you think this photo is the perfect choice for a project. For example, let's have a look right here. Oh, sorry, no, a wrong slide. Let's have a look right here. Task 4 overview. We have got these pictures, these 2 pictures. We need to describe them, right? And say why we think that these photos are a perfect choice for our project. So in the photo number 1, we can see 2 kids. These kids are playing the piano. So I guess that this is their hobby. So playing some musical instruments or playing the piano in this specific case is their hobby. So what I can say, in the photo number 1, I can see 2 children or 2 kids, doesn't really matter. It's up to you to choose which one to use. And they're playing the piano in the picture. And I think that this picture is really nice for our project because it illustrates us one possibility of hobbies, you can say, one hobby. And you can say that this is playing some musical instruments. On the other hand, we have got picture number 2. And in the picture number 2, we have got 3 people, basically. They are outside, they are doing gardening, and 2 girls are helping. I will call this man their father, just for my own convenience. It may be, he might be their brother, or I don't know, uncle, but yeah, I will call him their father. So these 2 girls are helping their father with some gardening. They are planting some flowers. I have no idea what kind of flowers they are, but that's not important in terms of task number 4. So they are planting some flowers, and this picture is perfect because it illustrates another hobby, which is gardening, which is done outdoors. So basically we've got one which is done inside. We play musical instruments usually inside. We can do that outside as well, but usually inside. This is like not a quiet activity, but yeah, inside activity. We've got the outside activity as well. The 2 different points, 2 different sides of the same topic of hobbies. And I'll just do this one. You also need to note the differences. You need to say how these photos illustrate different aspects of the topic. And that is something I have already mentioned, basically. So playing the musical instruments, this is the one aspect of hobbies, of our topic. And doing gardening is another one. Doing gardening, as we all know, requires a lot of physical strength. We can keep fit with it. If we do it regularly, we don't know, we can buff up a bit, do some workout at the same time. So yeah, 2 different aspects are shown in these photos. Okay, well, and let's move on to number 3. we need to talk about at least one, and I'm going to come back to that a bit later, advantage of the topic per picture. The thing is, you need to give at least one advantage of each photo in terms of their relation to the topic. And I say at least one because you can give two. But I personally do not recommend doing that, just because it will take you a lot of time. So you have to come up with a second advantage. You have to come up with a second disadvantage, maybe. It's a hassle. It takes a lot of time. So just give one. One is okay. There is no specifications. It is not specified in any document issued by FIPI that we cannot give at least one advantage or at least one disadvantage. So yeah, just do one advantage of each photo in terms of their relation to the topic. Let's have a look. So we have got here, as probably you already know by heart, we've got playing the piano, we've got gardening. So this one can be really entertaining. You play your favorite songs, you improve your memory, and this one keeps you fit. It is really physically active. You spend a lot of time in the fresh air, so maybe it's also beneficial for your health in terms of breathing. So yeah, these advantages what I would say in terms of the advantages of these hobbies. And the next slide and the next thing, which is about disadvantages. And one more time, you need to give at least one disadvantage of each photo in terms of their relation to the topic. So what we have here, basically, let me try jumping. I don't know if it helps. Oh yay, it did. Okay. So in terms of disadvantages, we have got here an activity which is done indoors. You don't move that much. It is not that physically active unless you have to stand up for a long time when you are playing the violin. So yeah, it's not that physically active, I would say, as a disadvantage. And if we are talking about this one, you can get a lot of injuries while you are doing gardening. There are so much tools there. You have to dig something, I don't know, you have to de-weed some kind of things, you have to plant, there is soil, there are all kinds of tools, so it can be dangerous, and also you can get sunburned. For example, if you are in the sun for too long, you don't have this sunscreen, for example. So all of these are not that positive signs. So, and these are disadvantages, basically, of everything, of the photo number 1 in relation to the topic, and of the photo number 2 in relation to the topic. Okay, and let me try jumping back. Yay, I think I succeeded. Okay, cool. The next one is your opinion on the topic and why. So what you need to do, you need to give your opinion on the topic and explain it. And you need to pay attention to the form of the verb. And I'm going to go back to our perfect slide with the task and give you a bit more details. So let me just delete all of my marks. I hope it helps. Yep. And like this. Okay. So here we have got some very, very important stuff. We have here a form of the verb we need to pay special attention to. We have got here you'd, prefer, and why. And it means that in your answer, you have to follow this structure. You have to say, I would prefer, or I'd prefer because. The thing here is they pay a lot of attention to whose opinion that is. And you have to say that it's me, it's I whose opinion that is. You have to say that I'd prefer. And you also have to pay attention to the form. So basically there are several forms that they can use. The first one is you'd prefer and why. Another one is that we have you prefer and why. And the third one is you preferred as a child. You preferred as a child. And also and why. Why. So the thing is, you have to follow these 3 patterns. They don't usually give us more than that, but these 3 you can come across. You can face them and you need to know what to do with them. So basically, if you have you'd prefer and why, you have to say I'd prefer because. If you say you prefer and why, you should say I prefer because. And if you have you preferred as a child and why, you have to say I preferred as a child because. Okay? So that is really, really, really extremely important. They pay special attention to that, and you may lose some points if you don't follow the structure. Okay, I hope you get that this is really important, but let's come back to expressing our opinion on the subject of the project. Which of the hobbies presented in the pictures you'd prefer and why? Really important as well. You don't say that I'd prefer photo number 1. No, no, please don't. You prefer the hobby. You don't prefer the photo. The photos are good. They're really nice. But you prefer the hobby. For example, in my personal opinion and my personal answer, I would say, I think I'd prefer the hobby which is illustrated in the photo number 1, playing musical instruments, because I'm not really a big fan of gardening, and gardening is not my cup of tea. But I like playing the piano, and playing the piano is something that I enjoy, so I would definitely prefer playing the musical instruments as my hobby. Something like that. Okay, so we have almost concluded a lot of stuff, and we have got here like we did some introduction, we explained the choice, we mentioned advantages, we mentioned disadvantages, we said why and what would we prefer. So let's move on to the next one, and I know that this is the wrong slide, but still. The next one is conclusion. The thing is, you cannot just send the message as is. You have to conclude in some way. You have to say like, well, that's all I wanted to tell you. Well, that's it. See you, bye, see you later. Something like that. That's enough. Let's imagine that you have 1 second left. At least say, that's it, see you. Something like that. Because if you don't have this one, you will lose points in terms of your organization of the text. So yeah, please, 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 conclusion. Don't forget about it. Okay? Cool, guys. I hope that everything's clear. Everything's absolutely crystal clear for you right now. And we are moving on to some common mistakes. A very common mistake that VP provided and told us the percentage of is no introduction. So this is something we talked about in the beginning, and this is basically our step 1. No introduction means you lose some points. We don't want to lose some points. Any points we don't want to lose. We want 82 points for our before they are turned into 100 point system, which is, I am very bad with math. So for me, it's like another planet. So 82 points, you get the initial points, and we don't want to lose any of that. So please, guys, say something like hi Ben, hi Bill, hi Steve, hi Masha, Vasi, Peter, Kola. Doesn't matter who. Say that you're having some difficulties. Say that you have found some photos, and say that you're going to describe these photos to your friend. Okay. Common mistake number 2 is no differences mentioned while describing the photos. So the thing is, you may describe the pictures perfectly, but if you didn't mention the differences, which is basically in our main plan right here, describing and noting the differences, you don't get the full point. And this is something you should worry about. So please describe the differences. Tricky thing here, don't be too formal in terms of, you cannot say just like there are 2 people in the photo number 1 and there are 3 people in the photo number 2. Well, no. Basically, that's not what they want to hear. They want to hear something related to the topic. So say something else. Don't just note the number of people or, I don't know, the color of their clothes. Okay? So the next thing that we have is some factual mistakes in photo description. And one more time, you can say, for example, because we all are people, we all are very nervous during our exams. You can say that there are, for example, 3 people in the photo number 1 right here. But actually, as you can see, there are just 2. Or you can say that there are 2 people right here. Let's say you didn't see the father. These all are factual mistakes. And these all will make the examiners give you less points in terms of the communication. Okay? So the next thing which is important here, differences of the photos mentioned instead of aspects of the topic. So this is something I have already talked about. Please don't say there are 2 people, there are 3 people, they're inside, they're outside, I don't know, they're wearing some different colors of clothing. No, you have to be related to the topic. Okay? Next one, no explanation provided after the opinion is expressed. So you let us imagine that you said perfectly, I'd prefer, or I would prefer blah, 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 but you didn't say why. If you don't say why, you don't get the full point for this part, okay? Next one, the wrong form of the verb is used. For example, you say I prefer instead of I'd prefer, okay? This is I already told you about it. This is really important. You can lose points if you don't do that. So please, 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 and one more time, please be attentive. As you know, there are 3 possible forms of the verb there. I prefer, you prefer, you preferred as a kid, as a child, doesn't matter, or you'd prefer. So basically, please pay attention. The next one is common mistake number 7. The student says that they prefer the photo, not the aspect of the topic. And this is also something I mentioned before. You must not say that I prefer photo number 1. You don't prefer the photo. You prefer what's in the photo and the way something which is in the photo is related to the topic. So you don't prefer the photo, you prefer the aspect of the topic, okay? Common mistake number 8. And this is something I heard a lot when I was checking these exams. Thank you for listening. This is not something that we want to hear in the end, in conclusion. No, please don't use it. No, thank you for listening. This is not Cambridge. You don't have to do that. There is no like a live interlocutor who's listening to you. You're recording a voice message. Let's imagine that you're recording a voice message to your friend. Would you be so like, thank you so much for listening? Like, really? Would you do that? I wouldn't personally. Okay, so let's imagine you avoided all of the 8 mistakes I have mentioned, and there is number 9. No linking words are used or wrong linking words are used. For example, you either don't use any linking words when you move from one point of your plan to another point of your plan, or you can mix and match and say words which should not be there. For example, you say however instead of, I don't know, and. Let's say this one. You say but instead of because. All of these are linking words, but if you use wrong linking words, this is not good, and you will not get the points that you really want to get. Okay, so these are some common mistakes that unfortunately, a lot of students make. And let's have a look at the evaluation. So basically, as I said already, you can get 10 points, which is the maximum for speaking task 4. And we have got a breakdown of these points. You get 4 points for communication, which in Russian sounds like решение коммуникативной задачи. And this one is really important because if you get 0 here, you get 0 for the whole task, okay? So communication is really extremely important. The next is organization, which gives you 3 points maximum. Organization is about the logics. Organization is about how you structure your speech, your monologue. Organization is about all of your linking words and not messing them up. Organization is about having introduction. Organization is about having conclusion. So yeah, that is really, really important, okay? And please avoid some constructions with it. For example, you can say, let's imagine, I like coffee, traveling, and taking pictures. And the next one would be it. It is a really nice activity. Is a really nice activity. My question and the question of all the examiners would be, which one is it? You like have 3 activities here. You've got coffee, yeah, which is not an activity, by the way. You've got traveling and you've got taking pictures. So at least 2 activities, and after that you say it. If you use it this way, you literally got a logical mistake. Because what is this it about? Is it about traveling? Is it about taking pictures? Or maybe is it about coffee? We don't know. So this is a logical mistake. And sometimes students unfortunately confuse because, and so this also gives us some logical mistakes. Okay, and number 4, language. So there are 3 parameters which experts check here. The first one is your grammar. Grammar is important, okay guys? Grammar is really important. Next one is your lexics, like vocabulary that you use. The thing here is, if you don't want to have a lexical mistake, don't say things like to decide a problem. No, we don't decide a problem, we solve it. So if you say decide a problem, it will be a lexical mistake. So we avoid doing that. And the third one is pronunciation. The thing here is, when we say something, it is really important to say it correctly. Because think and think, they're not the same. These are 2 very different words. And you can say, I am thinking of something, of buying a new car, for example, or I'm sinking. It means that you're in the sea and you're sinking. You're like literally drowning. So yeah, pronunciation is important. That is why it is really important to pronounce everything correctly. Okay, and as I said, language gives you 3 points total, and you get 10 points, which we all wish you get. Okay, thank you. I hope everything is clear right here. And I want to tell you a bit more about our school, and I think I will switch to Russian. Итак, подготовка к ЕГЭ по английскому языку у нас в онлайн-школе Учёба.ру. Что это такое? Это 9 месяцев подготовки. Мы начали в сентябре, мы закончим в мае. Это 70 уроков, лекции и семинары. Это занятие 2 раза в неделю, лекция, семинар. Это 30-35 домашних заданий. У вас в любом случае 100% идет домашка после каждого вашего урока. Абсолютно 100% каждое задание в этой домашке пояснено, почему так, почему не иначе. И если что-то вдруг вам непонятно, вы можете пересмотреть и так далее. Это пробный ЕГЭ и ОГЭ ежемесячно, как я уже говорила, опять-таки с развернутой обратной связью, с проверками, со всеми делами, практически как на реальном ЕГЭ, только не нужно никуда уходить из комфорта своего дома. Это разговорный клуб, каждый вторник у нас он проходит. Прекрасное место, где можно поговорить, где можно завести новых друзей. Вообще, я лично считаю, что почему нет? Прекрасно, хорошо, мы хорошо поболтали по-английски, почему бы нам и не стать друзьями. И это подробная проверка сложных задач с развернутой обратной связью и рекомендациями. Как я уже говорила, у нас с вами это 35-е задание, это у нас 37-е задание, если письменную часть ЕГЭ брать, это у нас 38-е задание брать, если брать устную часть ЕГЭ, письменную тоже часть ЕГЭ. И, по сути, это все наши задания устной части. Везде можно дать развернутую обратную связь, потому что это все проверяется вручную, все слушается, все читается, все говорится, почему так, а не иначе, почему тут лучше сделать так, а там сделать лучше иначе. Так что welcome! Ждем вас на нашей подготовке к английскому языку. Это прекрасная интерактивная платформа для подготовки. То есть это супер, все, что нужно для обучения в одном месте и в удобном формате. Это может быть ваш телефон, это может быть ваш планшет, это может быть ваш компьютер, все, что вам нужно, какое-то устройство с выходом в интернет, и у вас есть абсолютно все, что нужно для подготовки. Посмотрите, как это все прикольно выглядит. Здесь скриншот с телефона, но точно так же можно смотреть с планшета, с компьютера, с чего угодно, без разницы. У вас есть прекрасное расписание на текущую неделю, на все предыдущие недели, на следующие недели. Вам сразу понятно, что и когда нужно делать на каждой неделе. Ну, например, условно говоря, вы у нас проходите занятия по литературе, готовитесь по химии, готовитесь по математике. И вот вам говорят, что в пятницу 22 числа вам нужно посмотреть урок про корни и рациональные уравнения. В среду 20 числа у вас виды химических связей, у вас есть также домашнее задание, это домашнее задание, в котором 5 заданий, и у вас есть урок по правописанию гласной в корне слова, по литературе. Так вот, давайте посмотрим, что же у нас есть дальше. У нас есть интерактивные видеоуроки. Это понятная теория с конспектами, с упражнениями, с закреплением, со всеми делами. То есть вы смотрите видео, прекрасные интерактивные видюшки, записанные для вас нашим методистом Даной. Супер, понятно, все замечательно. Выжимка в виде конспекта из всего того видео, которое вы просмотрели. И, естественно, можно смотреть несколько раз. Если вдруг что-то забыли, можно вернуться, посмотреть еще раз. После каждого видео у вас есть задание, опять-таки с подробной обратной связью, с проверкой вашей, правильно вы выбрали ответ, неправильно вы выбрали ответ. И можно все посмотреть, да? Ну и домашки с быстрой проверкой, собственно говоря, то, про что я говорила. Там есть и подсказки, и пошаговые решения и так далее. В каждом задании, абсолютно в каждом, есть уже прописанные решения, которые, если вдруг вы что-то сделали неправильно, вы можете посмотреть, почему так. Либо, если вы сделали правильно, еще раз посмотреть, почему тоже так. И вот так вот у вас все прекрасненько видно. Там галочки ставятся разненькие, вам показывает thumbs up. Вот, если вы сделали все правильно. Вот так. Ну и у нас есть практические семинары. Это живое общение по видео с преподавателями. Собственно говоря, что у нас тут с вами идет? У нас тут с вами семинары по английскому языку. Это 2 уровня. То есть в зависимости от вашего уровня вы присоединяетесь к нужному семинару. И для вас, опять-таки, подобраны задания. Вот, так что живое общение по видео с преподавателями, где вы можете задать абсолютно любой вопрос, вам абсолютно 100% ответят. Еще раз повторить все уроки, которые вы проходили, ну и потренироваться. Естественно, куда же без этого, мы без тренировки не можем. Ну и, как я уже говорила не один раз, у нас с вами есть ежемесячные пробники. Это полные варианты и ЕГЭ, и ОГЭ для проверки знаний. Для проверки того, какой у вас прогресс, вы можете сами посмотреть, какой у вас прогресс за месяц. Родители ваши могут проконтролировать это. Мы смотрим, где-то что-то может подтянуть нужно и так далее. У вас тут, видите, написано так, проверяем, а вот там, где проверяем, это значит, что это как раз-таки письменная проверка полная, с критериями, со всеми делами, с обратной связью и так далее. То, что вот здесь вот у вас написано, там тоже есть обратная связь, но она без комментариев, собственно, эксперта идет. Так что вот такая вот прекрасная штучка. И удобные чаты с преподавателями. Мы стараемся очень быстро отвечать на все ваши вопросы, помогаем во всем разобраться. У вас есть группа в Телеграме, и вы всегда можете написать нам, как преподавателям, если что-то вдруг вам непонятно, если у вас какая-то проблема, какая-то technical issue, как у нас вот здесь в 4-м задании, вы вдруг не можете отправить фотографию, или еще что-то у нас случилось, пожалуйста, мы принимаем голосовые и все остальное. Так что в любое время. Ну и плюс система уведомлений. У нас настроена так платформа наша, что вам не нужно никуда ходить, вам не нужно запоминать 500 тысяч миллионов разных слайдов, сайтов и всего остального. У вас есть просто своевременные напоминания, чтобы ничего не пропустить. Ну, вот как вот вы видите, вам приходит прямо на телефончик. Вот, как-то так. Ждем вас, собственно говоря, на занятиях у нас в онлайн-школе Учёба.ру. И я очень буду ждать ваших лайков, подписочек. Это очень важно для нас, это очень важно для алгоритмов YouTube. Поэтому комментируем, жмем на колокольчик, ставим лайк. И каждое воскресенье мы здесь с вами обсуждаем интересные темы по поводу английского языка. Мы говорим про ЕГЭ, мы говорим про английский язык в целом. И мы говорим о том, как надо, собственно говоря, нам сдавать все это страшное слово под названием ЕГЭ. Окей, ребят, я думаю, что мы с вами полностью раскрыли всю тему по заданию номер 4 устной части. So I'm really happy that you watched maybe the video. I'm really happy if you give me a thumbs up. I'm really happy if you just click on that notification bell and if you subscribe to our channel. So thank you so much one more time for your attention, and I will see you in the future streams. See you guys. Goodbye.